Welcome to The Explainer. I am so pumped you're hanging out with us today because, honestly, we are tackling what feels like the absolute holy grail of personal finance. Yep, passive income. Now, look, let's be real for a second. It is incredibly overwhelming, right? You hear standard financial advice telling you, oh, just go buy a rental property or just dump 10 grand into an index fund. Meanwhile, you're staring at a bank balance that is just flat at zero. It kind of feels like this exclusive VIP club that you just can't buy your way into. So today, we're going to flip that entirely. We are mapping out exactly how to build a passive cash flow, specifically when you are starting with absolutely zero startup money. Consider this explainer your ultimate antidote to that tired old myth that you need money to make money. So, the big question, can you actually make money while you sleep if your pockets are, well, currently empty? I mean, we've all heard that incredibly frustrating old adage, right? It takes money to make money. And look, if you're trying to buy commercial real estate or just kick back and live off the dividends of blue chip stocks, sure, absolutely, that statement is completely true. But today, we are going to completely flip that script. As you'll see from the hard data and expert strategies we'll be looking at, you absolutely can generate sustainable income streams without some massive initial financial investment. We're going to build this whole thing relying on the tools and resources you literally already have sitting around right this very second. Okay, let's dive right into this. And the absolute best place to start is by completely shattering the internet's absolute favorite myth. You know, the one that passive income means zero effort? No way. Take a look at what retired hedge fund manager Todd Tresidder points out. He says the whole get-rich-quick appeal is a total illusion. Passive income involves real, tangible, heavy work. You just give the work up front. You're essentially building an engine that's going to eventually run all on its own, but, well, you still have to source the parts, grease the gears, and actually build that engine first. It's an exchange.
And this brilliantly illustrates that point. There is a hard dividing line here between what this is and what this definitely isn't. What we're talking about today is building actual assets that provide consistent returns over time. We are completely ignoring anything that resembles a second job or a side hustle that requires you to actually clock in. I mean, if you have to punch a time card, or if you're directly trading an hour of your Friday night for an immediate hourly wage, yeah, that is not passive income. True passive income is about creating a system that fundamentally disconnects your time from your earning potential. You do the work once, and it pays you repeatedly. It's that simple.
All right, let's move into Section 1, the $0 pivot, substituting time for capital. So, when you lack financial capital, you have to execute this $0 pivot. Basically, you substitute your time for cash. If you don't have dollars, your primary currency just becomes sweat equity. And this really breaks down into 3 specific starting points. First up, your expertise. What highly specialized skills or, unique knowledge do you already hold right there in your head? Second, your willingness to do massive upfront work. Are you prepared to spend months building an audience or crafting compelling content before ever seeing a return? And third, items you already own. We're talking about maybe an underutilized car, tools just gathering dust in your garage, or even an empty parking space in a busy city. These 3 pillars, your brain, your hustle, and your idle stuff, they are your new starting capital. Moving on to Section 2, the creator's economy, digital assets. For the bulk of this explainer, we are going to focus really intensely on those first 2 pillars, your expertise and your upfront work. Welcome to the creator's economy. This is a space that is practically tailor-made for building digital assets with absolutely zero financial overhead. The source material lays out a highly structured progression to make this happen. Step 1, you've got to identify your specific, laser-focused niche. Step 2, you spend your time, your newly minted sweat equity, creating a digital asset. This could be writing a book, filming a video, designing a template. But here is the absolute most crucial part. Step 3, relentless marketing. Seriously, when you write an ebook, you aren't just an author anymore. You are now a full-time marketer. The build is genuinely only half the battle. Because if you don't sell it, it's just going to sit there on a digital shelf gathering digital dust. Let's actually analyze ebooks specifically for a second, because the barrier to entry here is literally $0. The opportunity is undeniably massive. I mean, you can leverage Amazon's global distribution network right from your laptop in your living room. But the risks? Yeah, they're equally steep. You're stepping into an arena with over 4 million Kindle titles. Let that sink in. You aren't just competing with other financial experts or dietitians, you are competing for attention with every single sci-fi thriller and billionaire vampire romance novel out there. Plus, Amazon takes a 30% fee on your sales. Standing out in that massive sea of 4 million books requires immense upfront labor. So writing the book costs nothing but time, sure, but getting people to actually see it, click it, and buy it, that requires a highly sophisticated, ongoing promotional effort. Okay, what about starting a blog or a YouTube channel? Free platforms? Yes. Incredible potential for ad revenue and lucrative brand sponsors? Absolutely yes. But the risk? Man, it's a notoriously high burnout rate. The creator space is literally littered with abandoned channels. It's this brutal catch-22. To get meaningful brand sponsorships, you need a massive, engaged audience. But to get that massive audience, you kind of have to work for free. You're creating this endless stream of high-quality content week after week, month after month, long before you ever see a single dime hitting your bank account. You're basically working a full-time job for free until the algorithm finally decides to reward you. Now, what's really interesting about this next point is the math behind all of it. 3 to 7%. That represents the typical commission range you are going to earn through affiliate marketing. Think about it. If you place a link for a highly recommended camera on Amazon, or maybe a cool software tool on your blog, you get a tiny slice of the pie when someone actually makes a purchase. Because that percentage is so incredibly small, having immense, consistent website traffic is absolutely mandatory. I mean, you literally cannot make a sustainable living on 5% commissions if only 10 people are clicking your links each month. It is a volume game, plain and simple. Let's pivot slightly and talk to the visual creatives out there. If you're into photography, illustration, or graphic design, platforms like Getty Images or Zazzle are just incredible avenues. Why? Because you can scale your efforts infinitely. You upload one incredible photo or one clever t-shirt design, and you can potentially sell that exact same file thousands of times without doing an ounce of extra work. But, and there's always a but, consumer demand is incredibly hard to predict. You might spend 3 weeks designing an absolute masterpiece that sells 0 copies, while some silly, slightly weird doodle you sketched in 5 minutes just goes absolutely viral. It's basically a game of constant, unpaid trial and error until you figure out exactly what buyers actually want right now. Now, the highest potential upside, but undeniably the highest upfront labor, lies in creating apps or comprehensive online courses on platforms like Udemy or Skillshare. Because you can charge premium pricing for that specialized knowledge, the income stream can be highly lucrative. But, as the source material strictly points out, there is absolutely no room for trash out there. If your course or your app doesn't offer a truly compelling, high-quality, bug-free experience, it will simply vanish into the void. It'll just disappear. This requires a massive time commitment to get right. You are essentially building a full tech product or a comprehensive educational curriculum entirely from scratch. Which brings us to Section 3. Is it worth it? Seeing all these hurdles, the relentless marketing demands, and the sheer volume of upfront work required, we have to ask the ultimate question here. Is it worth it? Building this is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a daily grind. You may not have the capital right now, but do you have the time? Look, everyone has a unique expertise, a unique voice, or an unused resource just sitting right in front of them. The sweat equity path is completely open to anyone willing to put in the upfront labor to build that asset. And once that asset is built and the marketing engine is finally humming, that is when the true magic of passive income unlocks. So, what we build first? Take a hard look at your skills today, pick your digital asset, and start laying those bricks. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.